Do you feel lost and confused and don't know what steps you should be taking next if you're dealing with an undiagnosed autoimmune disease? Uh, and if you're trying to figure out how to navigate your journey towards better health, then this session is for you, right? In this session, I share with you why an effective guide is necessary to help you through the ups and downs as you embark on your own healing journey. So if you're waiting for an autoimmune diagnosis, if you are feeling lost, if you are feeling that you don't know what to do next, if you're losing hope that your life, your health and your body will ever be what it used to feel like earlier, then this session is for you. In this session, I share with you what an effective guide is, why you need one, and really how your body can help you do that. If you like what I have to say, I have only 2 slots available in my coaching program for women with undiagnosed autoimmune conditions. It's called Healing from Within. It's a 6-month comprehensive coaching and transformative coaching program. Then you can schedule a free 45 minutes clarity call and get a free health assessment, self-assessment as well. The link is in the bio. Again, if you're watching it on replay, you can still go ahead and schedule the call. If you have any questions, just make sure that you drop it in the comments below and I'll make sure to get back to you. So the place that I would like to start, and something that I always teach my clients, is that healing is like a journey, right? And like any other journey, it has its own ups and downs. It's not going to be smooth sailing, it really is. Anything which is like longer journey where you have to prepare for it mentally, physically, spiritually, and maybe even emotionally, so that you are able to keep up with the changes. Your plans change, the weather changes, so it's an ongoing journey and you need to find a way to navigate it. And that's where having an effective guide comes in really handy, and it's actually necessary, right? So it can be a map of where you are, where you want to go towards your destination. Map is a very, very effective tool for giving you a sense of direction and letting you know what is the next stop and then the stop after that, right? So you need a map, or maybe you have an online GPS system in your car. So very much like, it's like an online map. But you need some kind of navigation tool, right, to guide you as you move towards your destination. And healing is very much the same. So healing from any kind of chronic disease, especially when it comes to a severe chronic disease like an autoimmune disease. And again, it does not matter whether you have a diagnosis or not. It's pretty much the same, because you are trying to get to a place of better health where you have the reduction in the number of symptoms and the severity of symptoms, where you don't feel so sick all of the time. You're not in constant pain, you're not always tired, you're not always canceling your plans, you're not canceling, you're not dealing with FOMO because you're constantly having to reschedule. So all of these things are pretty much something that you will be dealing with on a regular basis if you're dealing with any chronic illness, especially in autoimmune disease where the symptoms keep changing. So if you are dealing with all of this, then it really helps to have someone to guide you, to hold your hand, to tell you really what is the next step for you, right? And then what is the step after that. So this is where I think many of us are stuck. We simply don't get the answers that we are looking for. We don't know what is the next step. We don't know what is the step after that. We don't even know what the next step is. Forget about the 10 steps after that, right? We are not getting all the answers. We don't know why we are sick all the time. We certainly don't know how to get better. So this is where many of us are stuck. And the sad thing is that we are stuck at this juncture of our journey, not just for days, but for months, years, and even decades for some people. And the sad thing is that by being here, you're not just stuck, actually you're moving backwards, because the symptoms keep increasing, especially when it comes to autoimmune disease. If you're on the autoimmune spectrum, I've talked about it before in my earlier sessions. You are developing more and more symptoms. Immune system is already hyper vigilant and overreactive, so it may be developing antibodies to more and more body tissues, which is why people who are on the autoimmune spectrum go on to develop multiple autoimmune conditions. So you're not really stuck in one place in that sense. You're actually sort of moving backwards and regressing, right? As the disease keeps progressing, and we are not able to do anything to prevent it, right? So if this is where you are, then you need a guide to help you, to tell you, what are the steps you need to take. So take the example of one of my clients. When she came to me, she had over 200 symptoms that she was dealing with. So she was completely lost and confused and overwhelmed as to, which direction she should move towards, right? She already had a couple of diagnoses at that point. And really, she was getting sicker. Nothing was really helping. She had major symptoms every single day. As I mentioned, she had over 200 symptoms. So it was really hard for her to even figure out anymore what was really a symptom and what was not. Maybe it was all in her mind, right? And certainly she was completely confused as to what she should be doing. Where should she even start? Even if she knew that she had to make certain changes, and she had, because she had such severe gut issues, she had already gone off most of the foods. There was nothing really left. So there was nothing really left in her diet, right? So this client was completely stuck at that place. So she was dealing with severe abdominal pain every day, major gut symptoms, and she had done what she thought she could. She had removed several of the foods, but she was not getting better, right? And this is where many of us are stuck. We are stuck because we have symptoms which are ever changing. We are stuck because we don't have the answers. We don't know what to do next. And what she needed to do is go beyond symptom management. What she needed to do was go beyond just trying to get a diagnosis for her disease, right? In fact, in her case, she was lucky that she had already had a diagnosis, but honestly, that was not really helping her to get better. Just knowing the name of your disease does not really tell you anything about what's going on, right? Why do you have it? And how is it what is stemming at the root of that problem, right? It doesn't tell you anything just by knowing the name. I am not saying that you should not try and find out what disease you have. I am never an advocate for either or approach. I sincerely believe that conventional medicine has its place, because by taking certain medications, by undergoing certain treatments, it allows us to prevent further tissue damage, especially in the case of autoimmune conditions. It allows us to get some of our symptoms under control as we make certain changes: lifestyle, dietary, stress, mindset, everything. Those changes take time. It takes time to see the results that we want to see, but the conventional approach buys us some time, right? It's a short to medium term approach, but it's certainly not the solution. So this client of mine had to actually learn how to go beyond her symptoms, and it's hard to do when you have 200 symptoms. You don't know which one is what, and it's, as I said, it's constantly changing. So how do you stop doing all of this? Where do you start? How do you start getting better? So she learned, as do all my clients, that she had to allow her body to tell her, right? She had to allow her body to guide her in that sense. Shaili, if there's anything that's resonating with you, thank you for joining this session. If you have any questions, make sure that you put in the comments below, and I'll be sure to address them. So she, in her particular case, as with all my clients, she had to learn how to allow her body to be her guide. She had to learn how to trust her body. Her body was sending messages every single day, and it was only by becoming more mindful, by starting to pay attention, and it's a process that I take my clients through in my coaching program. And in fact, body acceptance, self-care forms a big part of my coaching program, apart from obviously the functional medicine in the sense of the diet, the testing, the supplements, all of that are important as well. But what I find missing is this piece, because without this piece to guide us, you don't really know whether the steps that you are taking is going to help you or not, or whether, and it saves you a lot of time, right? A time that is taking you away from your family, from your loved ones. It is taking you away from things that you want to do, from enjoying your life that you should be able to. And in fact, that's a huge problem. So again, coming back to this client, so when she was able to actually start tuning into her body, when she was able to become more mindful about what foods she was putting in her mouth, and how it was affecting her body. These are just small steps. So mindful eating, for example, is something that I do right at the beginning of the coaching program. It's a fun exercise where we take a piece of raisin, kishmish, or we take a piece of chocolate, and we learn how to actually enjoy that one tiny piece of food. And we start appreciating the way that food, the effect that food has on our body, right? And then when we extrapolate it to every meal that we have, it is life changing, right? So that's how we start tuning into ourselves, tuning into our bodies, messages, and tuning into our body's wisdom. So so just by removing certain foods, which is a good place to start, is not enough, right? So again, this is just one example that I wanted to share with you today. So because this is a problem I find which is very common, that we don't know where to start, we don't know what to do, we are lost, we are confused, we don't know what steps to take. So the thing is, so my question to you is that, are you allowing yourself, your body to guide you, right? Are you aware that you need a proper guide as you continue on this journey? Because make no mistake, getting back to what used to be a normal life, getting back to what your life, health and body used to be like, it's a journey, right? It's not going to happen overnight. So getting prepared for it is important, but also having a guide who can help you through that journey is critical, right? So that's what I'm here to share with you today. So because when you are able to do this, you are able to move from being a powerless patient, that I sort of use that term deliberately, intentionally, because that's what we feel like, that we have no power at all. We are a patient because we have a diagnosis, or maybe we are just sort of, we know there is something wrong, we don't have a name for a disease yet, but obviously we are sick. So moving from a powerless patient, we actually move to an empowered explorer. Who is an empowered explorer? An explorer is someone who is on a search for finding the answers, but an empowered explorer knows that she has the right guide, she has the right support, she has the right guidance, and she knows that the steps that she's taking is helping her. And how does she know that? She knows that because she is so clued in to her body, to her body's messages, to how she feels, to her emotions, that it's not just the external factors that she has to base all on this on. So that's who an empowered explorer is, because when you rely only on external data, and data like lab reports, data like only health experts and others' opinions, you only get a partial picture, right? You don't get the entire picture, and you deal with symptoms for years, many times, without getting any diagnosis, without getting any answers, which is why I use the term a powerless patient. But you can, as I said, move towards being an empowered explorer by trusting your own body's wisdom, right? By tuning into it and allowing it to guide you. And starting on this journey is really something that is life-changing, that is transformative, as it has been for all of my clients over the years, because even after they stop working with me, even long beyond that, they are so clued into how their bodies feel and how they feel in their bodies and how they need to take care of themselves, that they don't have to necessarily rely on anybody for the long run, right? They know what changes need to be made, they know what tweaks have to be made, and they know, more importantly, how to create long-term and sustainable health. So today's session was actually just about giving you a different point of view, just sort of allowing you to explore an option where you think of your journey as moving from a disease management to creating health. So healing as a journey, moving from feeling like a powerless patient to an empowered explorer. So you explore both external worlds and internal. As I said, it's a combination. The external world comprises of your lab data, of medical professionals, external other opinions, and other external validation. But your internal world is equally important, which is where you rely on your body's wisdom, your own intuition to guide you. And when you put these together, that becomes life-changing, and it's actually sustainable, right? Unlike only relying on external validation. So you become an empowered explorer. So I invite you, if you can relate to this, if you would like to know more, you can schedule a free 45 minutes clarity call. I have right now only 2 slots which are available. I work with a limited number of women with undiagnosed autoimmune diseases. So the link is in the bio. Schedule a free 45 minutes call today.